Hello, 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 everyone. It is about 9:57, so we're gonna wait and let others join us and come in. I hope everyone is doing well. Give us a few minutes here. All right, folks, let's jump into it. Let's begin. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome into ReThink webinar. So normally we're recording our podcast, but today's is the one of first, really our first webinar that we're going to start doing on every Saturday. We want to set up a regular time where we can be available, and we're going to go through some information that we cover in a lot more detail uh, here than we would do on the podcast. And the reason for that is because I think it's just time to start giving a little bit more. I am always trying to work out a way that between my schedule and what I'd like to offer my audience, some more information and tools, really. That's the best word. Some tools that can really help you to be able to do the things that you want to do in your life. So the webinar is a part of that. So the last month I've been a little on and off, mostly off because I have to take the time to develop these tools. And now that we have them, they're in place, I can go ahead and begin to roll them out. So today, that's what we're doing. We're rolling out this first of many tools. And as you know, we do offer coaching. And if you're interested in that, you'll get information today in terms of how you can access that. But in the interim, we've got other tools, be it digital products, it can be the courses, it can be journals, it can be workbooks. I like to give the audience something after each of our podcasts because I think the information is good to have, but you're only going to retain so much. And if you want to really change your life, this has got to be a lifestyle. So documenting and being able to refer back, because I've got tons of notes. I've got tons of notes. And not just for when I'm doing this webinar or podcast or whatever, but every now and then when I'm journaling, I go back to see where my thoughts were and why I even started wanting to do what it is I'm currently doing. If nothing else, I want you to write down your why. Why am I attempting, or why am I pushing to become this type of person? Why personal development? Why am I strategically changing my lifestyle? Why am I looking at my own spirituality? And when you see those whys, it can motivate you, even in those difficult times, to continue what you're doing. Okay. So let's kick off today. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen with you. And what we want to start with is our pretty pleased with the way our website looks now. This is one of our websites. This is our digital store. And the course that I'm going to begin to introduce today. So this is going to be free to you if you're on this webinar. I'm going to just begin to show you what you could be getting if you do sign up for the course. So you go over here. This is where you find it. This is our homepage. But if you go over here to where it says shop, you'll see that we've got a number of things in here right now. First and foremost, if you want to support the podcast, you can go here. This is just a link that you can, donate to the podcast, help us to really keep transforming and doing the things that we want to do to support our audience, our audience. There are a lot of benefits here. You can go here and see. You get bonus episodes. At some point, I'm going to close out these free webinars and it'll be a membership sort of situation where you get access to this on an ongoing basis. Okay. Why become a member? Because, we're evolving. You want to invest in yourself. You want to be able to know that you've got certain types of tools and support systems in place to support that life that you're building right now. So let's go back to the shop. And here's what we're going to do today. This is one of the courses. It is Ignite Personal Growth. And we're going to begin to roll out what that course is and what it looks like. I don't know, my internet's a little slow today, but all right, we're gonna work with it. So ignite personal growth. Ignite personal growth. What is this for? For the most part, this course is for an individual who just kind of feels stuck, right? So you're feeling stuck. You have either lost direction or you didn't quite have your footing to begin with. Maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed with what life is kind of putting and presenting to you currently. And you just need clarity. You just kind of need some help getting unstuck. All of us do. What type of solutions could we provide through this course? Well, if you want to see how you got to where you are and understand it from a metaphysical standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, and understand that you created this, it'll help you to understand how you can create the life that you want, how you can get unstuck. And one of the first things we do is kind of go through what we're going to go through today, which is called a wheel of life, to see where in your life you feel like you're stuck. Documentation is a very strong tool for evolution and for transformation. We must first write down and be able to see what it is we're actually dealing with. Because other than that, we're hypothesizing. And I don't know about you, but the older I get, the less I'm able to actually remember some days because I do have so much going on. I have so many people around me telling me things and depending on me for things that it benefits me to have a system in place to document that information. Otherwise, I'm going to become overwhelmed. And that's one of the things that we don't want. Overwhelm leads to anxiety, anxiety to stress, and then we're in this loop of feeling awful, and we don't want to do that. So anyway, if you're feeling stuck, you want to break through, we can provide the solutions, and we're going to begin to show you that today. If you're interested in coming to the site to see what this cost and the sign up, the full bundle is here, and actually it's on sale. And then you can do a pay as you go as well. So if you just want to do, 1 week or one lesson, you could do that as well. Here are some frequently asked questions about the program. What can I learn in this course? Right here, number 2. You're going to learn how to access your current life balance. Identify areas in your life where you feel like where you probably have limiting beliefs. And here's the best thing. Let's all begin to set clear goals. The only way to achieve in our life is to be definitive on what it is we want. Many people don't do that. They just want things to be okay. They just want things to work out. Well, what are those things? Like you could want to date a specific person. You could want to live in a specific city. You could want to drive a certain car. You've got to say what it is that you want. And then we're going to work together to create actionable steps to help you to achieve that. You're going to get support, structure framework, and documents that are actually written down where you can take these things home and look at them. So we talked about the wheel. Let's jump over here. Let me see. What did I do with it? Yeah, I misplaced it. I'll find the wheel in just a minute before we get into it. But here is what we're going to talk about today. The mission of today. We talked about the personal growth system. That's what we're going to be doing part 1 of. The mission is to help individuals achieve self-awareness and overcome obstacles, tailored strategies, support systems, etc. Now, to reiterate, if you're feeling stuck, if any of these match you, you could be very uh, uh, close to any of these feelings. And maybe you don't know how to kind of get yourself unstuck. Well, if you've ever thought about coaching, that is the premise I would take in order to help, because many people have mentors, same thing. Many people have friends or they identify folks in their lives, parents or people who have been through current situations that they're going through. But it's the same thing. It's a form of mentorship. Okay. You are investing in yourself. So you're feeling stuck, lack of clarity, difficulty managing time. Time management is a challenge that most high performing people have, and it makes them feel overwhelmed. Why? People who perform on a high level. You ever heard the term that if you want something done, ask somebody who's busy? If you want something done, ask somebody who's busy. Why? Because they're getting so much other stuff done. And they're usually coming to perception of being able to manage their time very well. Or at least that's what it looks like from folks from the outside. But what's taking place on the inside sometimes, if you don't do that, it's overwhelmed because you have so many people, like I told you before, asking you things and depending on things from you that it can become overwhelming. All right. Effective strategies for improvement, life balance tools. Today, we're going to talk about the Wheel of Life self assessment, limiting beliefs framework that can come later, goal setting strategies that is absolutely necessary. This is what the entire course looks like. Self assessment to identify the imbalance in your life. You got to start at the beginning. You have to start at the beginning because the thing is, if you don't start at the beginning, know, you don't really know what the problem is, right? You don't really know what the problem is. So let's assess your life. That's what we're going to do today. Uncover limiting beliefs that are fostering your personal growth or hindering. Set smart goals for clear direction, and then develop actionable plans to achieve those goals, and then follow up. The Wheel of Life. This is a self assessment worksheet and allows you to identify the areas in your life that could be problematic. Now, but also it's going to identify parts of your life that you're super excited about. Okay. Okay. The Wheel of Life. So you sign up for the course. This is the first thing we're going to talk about. What does your life look like? And let's jump to the wheel first. This just think of a car wheel, okay? Let me get this just on one sheet. My computer is finicky in that it doesn't I have multiple screens and it doesn't like the fact that I have multiple screens. So it does stuff. So here you go. I just want you to see what this wheel looks like. Career, family, significant others, fun, health, money, personal growth, and physical environment. You are here because you listen to the podcast. And the podcast, what do we talk about? Always talking about your personal development, be it your career, entrepreneurship. So that can be career and then money. Personal growth, that is you. Personal growth has to do with your maturity, your personal development, etc. Family and friends, significant others. This is part of your personal life and fun and recreation, your physical environment, fun and recreation. So normally we point our podcast towards relationships. It could be romantic or otherwise, your career or your entrepreneurship, your health, your health, and then your health and wealth. So what we want to do is make an assessment. This wheel is a tool that is going to give a graphic presentation of the balance of your life. It's going to dig into these areas that you see. It's going to use these 8 categories to help you to identify where in your life you feel like things are going well and where in your life you feel like things are not going well. The power of this is to be able to visually see your life on a piece of paper. You thinking about it all the time, but you got a lot of other stuff you're thinking about. In order to take action, let's start writing it down. Here's some of the questions that you want to ask yourself from a career side. Obviously, am I satisfied with my career? Do I feel rewarded? Okay. Career and money usually go together. Am I making enough money? Am I setting myself up for the type of life that I want to live 10, 20, 30 years from now? Okay. Health and wealth can go together as well. Am I fit? Am I healthy? Do I exercise every day? Do I exercise regularly? Do I have the type of body that I desire? Significant others and romance. This one's, well, they're all, equally as interesting in terms of what's going to really be the magnifying glass that. Let me start over. In my life, as an example, a lot of, let's say the 8 areas, I could have 7, bam, not a problem. But number 8, man, it's a problem. and I can't seem to figure it. Like I can figure the others, but this one, for some reason, I can't figure. And I've talked to a lot of people, and it seems like that's across the board. And maybe I'm fortunate in that I've got 7 of 8. Sometimes people have 5 of 8, 4 of 8, and they're struggling in more than one area. We're here today talking about personal growth. So you obviously are a type of person who's identified the value in investing in yourself and wanting to develop further. Am I always learning new things? Am I learning the things that can benefit me? Do I enjoy the opportunities that I see coming my way? How am I developing as a person? How do other people see me? Friends and family. Do I have those close friends? Do I have that support system? Do I spend enough time with them? How do I value their relationships? Do they want to spend time with me? And the significant other reason I kind of pinpointed that was because it's tricky because if you're in a relationship, sometimes that relationship can have a bearing on the other questions. If you're married, you're not talking money and stuff by yourself. You're not necessarily talking physical environment by yourself. You're not talking fun and recreation necessarily by yourself. It's usually a couple answer if you're coupled up. Do you share values and intimacy with someone else? Are you nurturing in that relationship? All right. So let's talk about how the wheel works. What we're going to do basically is go around the wheel and we're going to score all the items from 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Here's an example. Fun and recreation. This can be tied to a low score regarding money. Let's say, for example, if you scored low in fun and recreation, it could be tied to money. Why? Because if that's the case, if I don't have a lot of money, I'm not doing a lot of fun stuff or a lot of recreation because I'm trying to pay bills and I'm trying to, I'm trying to position myself to be able to maybe do fun stuff later. But right now, I'm not doing a whole lot of fun and recreation. Okay. A low score for money could also be tied to a low score for your career. Perhaps you're not completely where you want to be or need to be in your career, which, uh, you know, uh, is direct relationship to the revenue that you're generating. Maybe you want to own your own business. Maybe you want to have advancements. Either way, you're not really there right now. So maybe you scored money low and it's correlated to your career. This could make money really a sensitive area in your life and a sore spot. So I think, all right, so I'm going to show this to you real quick. This is a request for a digital product, and I'm going to send you a link that looks just like this. And all you have to do is go in here, put in your name, email address, and if you want both of these, if you want both of those, you just click on them and it comes to us and we'll send them to you. Okay. Now, what do you do if you want to participate in the overall life courses? Same thing. Here's a link. It's a Google form. It's secure. All you do is go in, put your information in, and you say, hey, I'm interested in a short-term coaching program. I'm interested in a long-term coaching program. Either way, I'll reach back out to you and we can talk about the details. So you want this, going to go around. We're going to start. The first round is 1. All the way out here is 10. And you're going to ask yourself these questions, okay, about these particular areas: physical environment, career, family, friends, significant other, fun, recreation, health, money, and personal growth. Do the entire wheel. Go through all of these questions, okay? And let's see where you end up. And where you end up, we're going to talk about determining goals. When you see the areas of your life specific to how you rate them, we can begin to talk about why. Number one, why do you feel like, you know, you rated your career number 3? Okay. Well, I'm not satisfied with the role I have. I don't like the people on my team. The company's not very fair. I'm not getting paid a lot. So my career is not really going where I want it to go. Let's talk about how we can get your career to be a 6 or a seven or an eight? In other words, how do we position you to either change directions in your career, change companies, or change the current environment that you're in right now? All of those things are an option. And we talk through that. All right. Another example. I'm at a, I don't know, I'm at a six here with my family and friends, but I'd love to be at a 10. How can I go from a six, feeling like I'm a six, to feeling like I'm a 10 for my family and friends? Well, we talk about why do you believe you're at a six? Have you gotten any feedback from your family and friends? Do you have good interaction, good relationships with your family and friends? And it really, in this case, I would actually divide the two. I would first talk to you about your family. And then I would secondly talk to you about your friends. Why? Because family relationships are a different dynamic than friends. Family is a lot more sensitive. Yes, you're going to have very close friends that you've had lifelong relationship with. Yes, but they're not your family. And family sometimes you can have a certain situation with a friend. It could be, something said that maybe hurt your feelings. Okay. But if a family member does the same thing, it's usually on the scale is a little heavier. Why? Because it's your family. So family and friends is an important part of all of our lives. And so if that's something you wanted to increase, we would talk about goals on how to do that. Significant other, same way. If you're wanting to be in a relationship or you're in one right now, you're not satisfied. Let's say you rank this really, really high. Okay. You rank this really, really high. That tells me a lot. Either, I mean, you have at least one person in your life that you feel like has your back, is supportive, and you got a partner, someone that you can talk to. Why is that important? Because you don't know everything. And sharing ideas and communicating is one of the bigger benefits in a relationship. Now, that's a deep, deep conversation to have because men are not very communicative, and particularly when things are difficult. Why? Because men have a perception and have been trained to think that their value is numeric. And so men will not, for the most part, tell you when they don't feel good. I mean, like physically in their body. They won't say, hey, I'm not feeling good today. By the time a man tells you that, he's feeling really bad. He's feeling really bad. A man won't tell you something's bothering him. Most men, I'm not going to say all because I don't like people generalize me, but for the most part, men are not going to communicate exactly how they're feeling, particularly if it's not good, because a few reasons. Number one, they don't want to be seen as weak. Number two, they don't want you to project onto them things that may make them feel worse. Number three, they know that you are or people around them are depending on them. And what's the point? And unfortunately, I think some men, and I've heard this on social media so many times, it's a difficult thing to even say, but I think some men believe that nobody really cares how they feel, so they don't ever say. So they don't ever say. But if you're a guy and that's the way you feel, and we get to this point, we would talk that piece through because I don't believe I understand all of that, and I have practiced a lot of that, but I want to believe that that is not true. I want to believe that that is not true. So here's what I want you to do. If you do want this, Will, I'll be more than happy to send it to you. You can kind of go through it and do some self-assessment on your own. It's absolutely free to you because you have attended the webinar and you reached out to me. Follow up is here. Here are some questions that you can go into a little bit more detail from the wheel. These are topics that are good from the coaching side to just kind of get a deeper understanding, do a deeper dive, and uncover some of the things that the wheel is pointing out. So the wheel's going to kind of point at some things like, okay, I rated my relationship a 10. I rated my family and friends a 6. But man, he rated his career a 3. So let's start there. Let's start there at that career and see what's going on. Because if you're feeling stuck, remember why we're doing this course in the first place. You're feeling stuck. You're feeling, maybe aimless. You're not really sure the next path to go. And probably you're feeling that way because of that three under your career. If you got a 10-year relationship, it's not going to make you feel like you don't know what to do. That's not going to make you feel aimless and wondering. If you got a six in your family, it's not going to make you feel that bad. But if you got a three in your career, you're really not happy with that career. Here's some of the questions. Have you ever been higher than the number that you recorded in a particular area? So in your career, right now you're a three. Have you ever been higher? Have you ever been higher on the scale? Yeah, I remember in my 20s, I worked at this place and man, it was so fun. It was like a Google-less environment. People were very smart and, it was very engaging and I loved the work. Well, what happened? I had to move and I ended up, transferring to a different location or I ended up having to get a different job in a different city. And I don't like this job as much as I like the other one. Could be something as simple as that. What's actually happening when you're on we're higher up the scale? We talk these things through. What did you do to move up the scale? Let's say you're in, where are we? Let's say you're in this personal development space, personal growth space, and you're kind of at a 4 or 5. In the years past, you were at a 9 or 10. You felt really good about yourself, but now I'm at a 4 or 5. I don't know why. So, what did you do before when you were up at the top of the scale? What was going on in your life? What did you look like? What did you feel like? What were you doing? Maybe then I was in college. I was in college, man. I was really the weight that I wanted to be. I was the person I liked who I was as a person. Since then, I've had some bad relationships, and I think a lot of it is due to me and the way that I behave around people. And I've had one bad relationship that's kind of catapulted me into a couple more, and it's going to spread over here to significant other and romance. But as a person, I don't really like who I am right now. And so I can't really feel like these other groups of people, family, friends, significant other, I don't know if they don't really like me because I don't like myself. The unfortunate part of not, being a good salesman for yourself is that it's gonna be related to other folks. Folks are gonna feel it. And if you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't feel like you're a great person, nobody else is going to. How did we get you to back to the 10, the 9, the 10, the 8 where you were in college? Well, we got to talk about those relationships that went south. And if they were your problem, what were they specifically? And for you to understand that your circumstances don't matter and that everybody has a past and that there's grace provided for all. And you've got to move past it. Okay. These are the sorts of things, guys, that we talk about in our coaching program. And this is not a one stop shop. Okay. This is not one weekend and then you're cured, everything's a 10. That's not what this is about. This course, I'm gonna move away from this, but this course is built because it is the type of mechanism that is going to help us, all of us, to become the people that we want to be, to realize the people that we want to be. I wanted to show you I keep trying to show you stuff that I don't have pinned up. I got to do a better job next time of having this stuff up. But I wanted to show you two other things before we go. So this is the Ignite the growth, personal growth program. Again, if you want to have access to, if you want to be in the program, all you have to do is, hold on one second, go here to our website. Come on. Well, give me one second. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons, guys. Hit it twice. Oh, oh, there we go. All right, so all you have to do is go here to our website. This is what it's going to look like. It is in our show notes. You go here to the home screen. You know what? Listen, if you want to contact me anytime, feel free to do that. Just go here, hit contact, bam, shoot me a message, ask me a question, ask me about the courses, do whatever you like. That's what it's there for. Hit shop. These are all the courses. Okay, this is our course, the 31 Days of New Beginning. Thank you guys, everybody who's been soliciting and purchasing that. This is a free workbook, by the way. This one here, how to identity shift or quantum jump. This is absolutely free. All you have to do is click on it, go here, add it to cart, put in your email address, bam, bam, bam. It is done. So these two items are on sale right now, 30 days of new self-concept, as well as intermediate fasting for a long, helpful life. This one, these both are very popular, but this is 45% off. And man, this one is really, really good, guys. This is something that's going to help you on a day to day. It's one of those deals like you remember you used to have a calendar on your desk, and every day it tells you a fact about something or it tells you, something. That's what this is. So you get past the welcome. So day one, the mind is everything. What do you think? What you think you become? Welcome to day one of this transformative journey. Day one, we're going to plant the seed. We're going to develop awareness of fixed mindset patterns. That's really what we just started talking about. Here's an activity for the day. Take time to notice your thoughts throughout the day. Identify any patterns that you consider a fixed mindset. Challenge these thoughts. Challenge the thoughts. Don't just let the thoughts ride around in your head for free. Challenge the thoughts and let's see if it fits within where you want to be in terms of growth and development. And of course, here's a worksheet. List some situations where you notice a fixed mindset today. Write down positive affirmation to counteract each of these mindsets. This is what this book is about, guys. It's a digital book, and it is only 18 bucks at this point. It's regular 33 bucks. All right, so what we talked about today is here, the personal growth. You just go here, tells you all about the program. And if you're interested in signing up for the whole bundle, you can do it there. If you're interested in just doing, piece by piece, you want to do class by class, you can do that as well. Okay. There are four or five total classes in that particular bundle, but it'll take you here, you sign in, bam, it's $35, as we go. So I want to thank you so much for taking part in our first webinar. We're going to do this every Saturday until I feel like we don't want to do it anymore and we'll do something different. But we've got a lot of content and we've got a lot of different products that we want to bring to you in this fashion. I think it gives you the type of energy and time and focus to really consider it. When you're in your car listening to the podcast, that's one thing when you're, cleaning up and that kind of stuff around the house. But I think the webinar to kind of sit down, hey, take a look at this kind of approach, it's going to really help us. So again, you've got a number of different things that you can do in terms of contacting us to get access to our programs. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast because all of you guys have come here, I know, from the podcast. And yes, to our Facebook folks, I'm gonna get better with being on Facebook. Can't promise you I'm gonna do a Facebook Live anytime soon. This is our sort of live mechanism, this webinar. But I am gonna get better with Facebook, and we're gonna have a lot more activity and different things that we can do in our Facebook group. Okay. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you have enjoyed today. I look forward to hanging out with you guys again. And don't forget to go over, check out the podcast, subscribe, continue to do that. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one. Thank you.